It was just another peaceful evening at Apodaca Park in Las Cruces, New Mexico, until a homeless man attacked, decapitated a stranger, and kicked his head around like a soccer ball.
I gotta puke, and I don't want to puke in the crime scene.
I did say.
Decapitated head. Decapitated head.
Holy.
Oh, fuck.
Sir, put your hands up. Get on your knees. Put your hands where I can see them. Stay where you are. Keep your hands up. I got covered. You got contact.
Okay, he cut his head off.
Dude.
Holy fuck, dude. That's fucking crazy. Holy fuck, he cut somebody's head, dude.
This was how the police reacted when they got multiple calls from people around a New Mexico neighborhood park about a decapitated body and a human head lying around the road. Upon arrival, they found the suspect just a few feet away from the decapitated body, almost as if he wanted to be caught. But what could make a man commit such a terrible crime and give himself up almost instantly? This is the story of Joel Arciniega-Saenz. Around 10 p.m., police received a 911 call reporting the sighting of a motionless body lying near the sidewalk at the park's edge. Officers immediately responded, assuming they were dealing with a hit-or-run or maybe a drug overdose. They weren't prepared for what they found. Lying on the road was the mutilated body of 51-year-old James Garcia, who reportedly had multiple stab wounds with his middle finger removed. His head had also been completely removed off his body, and was later found a few yards away. The police immediately swung into action, combing the entire park within a matter of seconds. There, they found a man calmly sitting in the darkness, with blood on his hands and some of his clothes, as well as a knife stuck in the ground, believed to be the murder weapon. However, the officers didn't quite believe that he could have taken off the head of the victim with a switchblade, so they searched the area for hours, hoping to find anything that could have been sharp and strong enough to cut off a man's head.
Dude, do you see how small that knife was? It's literally this big. Dude, he had to be gnawing at that thing for a while, though. Spines, dude, are fucking tough. Bro. And we drove by here because we kept going to these fucking calls over here. Yeah. We were probably driving by and he's just hacking away, man. Dog, the knife was like 3 inches. Yeah, legit, like, the head is like in the middle of the fucking road.
A switchblade has a blade that measures between 3 to 4 inches and is typically used in combat situations for quick jabs and fast flicks. And yet, somehow, Joel used that small folding blade to butcher a fully grown man. Even trained professionals with full-sized combat knives would struggle with such a task, and Joel did this in a public park at night. Experts suggest that decapitation with a small blade like a switchblade could take several minutes, meaning that after Joel must have stabbed James Garcia to death before sitting with his lifeless body, hacking away at his neck, muscles, cartilage, and all. Eyewitnesses reported that, in a truly horrifying act, they saw him kicking James' head like a soccer ball at passing cars. This grotesque behavior sent chills down the spines of those who witnessed it. Joel Arciniega-Saenz was detained and taken to Las Cruces Police Department for questioning.
South of the body up against the tree. There's a large pool of blood. So what's going to happen is we're going to go hang out in the booking room for a little bit, and then the detectives that were over there, they're going to come and talk to you here in a bit, okay? So just because you're going to be talking to them and stuff like that, you're going to be in a more comfortable room where they're going to allow you to most likely take the handcuffs off. Is it cool if I take out all the items out of your pockets? That way I can put them safely in this bag?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
A crime this brutal couldn't be understood with surface-level facts, and so the police did what they should do and brought him in for interrogation. What they discovered during the interrogation made even seasoned detectives pause.
I'm Detective Gonzalez, Las Cruces Police Department. This is my partner, Detective Lockridge. You feeling alright right now? Oh, yeah. Okay. Alright, man. I'm just going to clarify right now, you're not under arrest, okay? You've just been detained. But because we brought you down here in handcuffs, I have to read you your rights, okay? So I'm going to read you that. Just want you to follow along. If you have any questions, I'll answer them for you, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer my questions or make any statements. You understand these rights as I have explained them to you? Okay. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us?
No.
What's that?
What would you ask?
I said having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Now, in the interrogation room, as per standard protocol, Joel had his rights read to him before the detectives began to question him, and from his body language, one could tell that he was unbothered, almost as if they had nothing on him and he had a grand plan on how to wiggle himself out of this case. This would turn out to be an interrogation for the ages.
Joel, so I got your first name. Can I get your last name?
I don't have one.
You don't have a last name?
No.
What's your date of birth? Where you living at, man?
Here.
Do you have a residence, a house, apartment?
No, I'm on the streets.
You on the streets? Where do you usually stay at?
Anywhere.
Anywhere?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you work anywhere right now?
No.
You have any family in town? Nothing? What about friends?
No.
No? You were staying on Griggs for a little bit, weren't you? Not too long.
Joel maintains a nonchalant demeanor and refuses to answer basic questions about himself, claiming that he doesn't do anything for money. This prompts detectives to ask a more relevant question. If he doesn't earn money, then someone could potentially be supporting him. Additionally, they consider the possibility that the killing may be connected to gang rivalries or occult rituals.
You don't work anywhere, no family, you don't have any friends here. Staying at Apodaca Park. What were you doing at Apodaca Park this past night? You don't know? Who were you there with? Tell me what you do know, Joel. Tell me what you do know.
What do you do for money, Joel? Nothing. So how do you buy food or stuff like that? You don't go to the soup kitchen or anything like that? No fast food? No ask for money on the streets or anything like that? So how do you eat then? You know, I know it's got to be tough out there on the streets, right?
Yeah.
Just try to help out.
Well, what does that have to do with it?
I'm just asking about you, man. I'm just trying to figure it out.
You already know. I gotta know.
Detectives must have thought that he ran shady deals or pushed drugs for someone as a source of living. But Joel drops a bombshell and claims that he doesn't even beg for alms on the street or in the park. This could possibly be because he doesn't want to give up any information about whoever he was associated with, and the detectives felt that the question about his livelihood didn't yield any results, so they quit playing games with him and pressed him about what really happened that night. But Joel wasn't done playing dumb.
What happened? What did you get on your hands? What's that? You don't know what you got on your hands? And you don't know what you were doing in Apodaca Park, right? So, I mean, obviously you know we're out here, we're investigating something, right?
Sure.
Okay. And this is your chance, this opportunity to give your side of the story, right? For what you were doing there.
Yes.
That's all we're here for. Try to get your side of the story, try to understand what happened, what you were doing in Apodaca Park tonight. Okay.
Joel not only evades their questions, but also pretends to fall asleep in between the questions. This is common when people are afraid that they might accidentally spill the truth. Instead, they choose to remain silent and probably frustrate the police to leave them alone or ask them about something else. However, the detectives have been trained for these types of situations, so they pressed on about the stains that he had on his hands.
You don't want to give us your side of the story of what happened? Huh?
What side of the story?
You don't have a side of the story. You don't know what's on all of your hands?
Clothing.
What's that? Nothing? There's nothing on your hands?
Yes.
There's stuff on your hands, you can see it. All that red stuff.
What is it?
You don't know what that is? What's that? You don't think you do? Okay. Well, I'm telling you, you do. I can see it. That's why I was just curious. If you know what's on it, how you got it.
At this point, the detectives were trying to understand Joel's state of mind. Mind you, at this point, they hadn't done any background checks on him, so they wanted to know if he had any mental issues, or maybe if he was on drugs, or if he was just straight up messing with them.
When was the last time you slept, Joel?
Um,
Are you on anything right now?
like what?
Prescription medications, drugs, weed,
No, sir. I don't do drugs.
alcohol?
No, sir.
When the last time you ate? Do you know how old you are? 25.
You know what the officers were doing out there tonight? No? Do you know why you're being detained?
No, sir.
Do you care that you're being detained?
Because
I said, do you care? I can't tell you how you feel.
I don't think I have to look.
From their conversation so far, it was clear that something wasn't quite right with this man. You would expect someone caught at a crime scene with blood on his hands and shoes to have something to say to clear himself, or at least show some remorse. However, Joel was hell-bent on playing the dumb card in the middle of a very gruesome murder case. The detectives then sensed that he was wasting their time, so they hit him with the hard truth.
What about James?
It's James.
What's up?
It's James.
The guy in the park with you. Huh?
Who's that?
He was in the park with you.
Who's in the park?
James.
That is.
Okay. Well, you were with him.
Is it?
So I'm trying to figure out how you know him. Oh, and you have blood on your hands.
Is that what that means?
That's what that is.
Yes.
So, did James get in a fight with you?
That is.
Huh?
Did you get in a fight with somebody?
Joel's repeated response of, "I don't know," convinced the detectives that he was a pathological liar. There were more underlying factors to his hesitance to comply, so they put him back in his cell when they dug deeper for more information. After running his background, they uncovered a long trail of instability. Joel's documented history of mental health issues, suspected drug use, and past run-ins with the law. Armed with that knowledge, they decided to shift tactics. Rather than confront him straight up about the crime, they leaned into his state of mind, hoping that they could get him to open up. And when he did, what came out was far darker than what they had anticipated.
I know we tried before, and I know there were some issues with wanting to talk, not wanting to talk, not remembering, right? Okay, that's why we're back at it again. Okay, we want to try to, we don't want to just leave it at that. Let's see what you know about what happened. Do you know anything about what happened? Yeah. Can you tell me what you know about it? Why not? Can't remember? This would be a good time for you to try to start remembering. Okay.
For someone who claims to not be on drugs or any medication, Joel seems to find it convenient to fall asleep during the interrogations. This went on until the detectives hit a chord that seemed to keep him alert or awake.
So I'm just trying to find out more information about James. So, was he your boyfriend? Were you guys dating each other? Okay. Were you guys in some kind of lover's quarrel?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's that?
like because he's your boyfriend, you guys got in an argument.
I told you that.
Just what I'm getting.
Yeah.
You tell me, man.
Hold on, I'm talking here.
I'm not calling you gay. Yeah, I'm not judging you. You're married? Who you married to? You married to James? Are you married to James?
Are you trying to insult him?
Huh?
Are you insulting him? Why,
No, I'm not insulting you. I'm not calling you gay.
Information.
why are you calling me gay or what?
We're not calling you gay. We're literally that what this.
I didn't call you
Literally
gay.
just call me gay.
I said, are you married to James?
No, who told you I'm I don't know.
It seemed that he got irritated by the detectives insinuating that he was gay, and finally started to respond to their questions. But that's rich coming from someone who's suspected of being responsible for the gruesome murder of another man. Then this threw up the possibility that he was seriously homophobic, so detectives pressed further. They needed to get the motive behind the act, because so far, he hasn't denied killing the man or pleaded his innocence.
So you didn't have any kind of lover's quarrel with James?
No, you have a little scracker.
No, I don't.
See, do it. See,
Okay. So is that why you attacked James tonight? Because he called you gay?
it's not.
Is it because James was gay? I'm asking you. You're telling me I don't know that everybody's gay.
Detective. You act like.
I'm not acting like a child.
Yes, but.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
So then tell me about James. Tell me about James.
Sure, Jesus.
Is that why you're pissed off? Because James thought you were gay? Did James hit on you? Did he make some kind of advance toward you that you didn't like?
Who told you I was gay? Is that why they came in?
Now they had his attention, and he was starting to show his more aggressive side, swearing at detectives and obviously livid at the mere suggestion that he was associated with a man like James. This sheer disgust made him do something that took the detectives aback.
So, if it's because you guys had a lover's quarrel, or he made some kind of unwanted advance? You guess?
No.
So, he did.
You so figured out.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
Well, then help me out.
You want to fight me?
I don't want to fight you.
Well, it's one ghost. We can do that.
I don't want to fight you.
Don't call me gay.
I'm not calling you gay.
I'll beat the shit out of you. I'll beat the shit out of you.
Okay. So then tell me what it was.
No. You don't apologize. You don't know.
Threatening the detective might be a dumb move, but it did give insight into the kind of person that Joel is. Aggressive and fierce, not minding who or what pisses him off. He comes off as the kind of person who would go to any length to get his pound of flesh. To the detectives, the probable cause of the attack on James could have been aggression and violent tendencies, but you'll still need a little more than that to stab someone for a staggering 84 times before sitting next to them and cutting off their head with a 3-inch blade. So they suspected that he might have lied about using drugs in their earlier conversation, and he needed to come clean about that as well. So the detective asked him again.
Joel, you still using heroin? Hey, you used to use. So, do you still use it?
No,
Yeah. We have records of you using it, so. You still using it? No. Okay. How long you been clean for?
never got
Okay, then how can we have record of you being on heroin?
Who gave you the records?
It's on previous investigations.
Well, what's the new person that you do?
That's confidential information.
Miami charges.
Just asking for students.
Shit, that's already you.
The moment he realized that the detectives were specific about the drugs that he used, his face lit up and he looked at the detective with a bit of shock before going on to deny that he had stopped using. However, he couldn't tell them how long he's been clean. This was the first crack in his story. With so many things that didn't add up in his story, the detectives now knew that it was only a matter of time before he realized that he had been found out and open up about what had really happened that night. And open up he did.
So,
What do you want to be called then?
all tired. Sorry.
I'm sorry?
I gave it to the contact.
Altair?
Altair.
Altair.
That's her.
Okay, Altair.
Okay.
So then why did you kill that guy?
So he raped my wife.
He raped your wife. When did this happen?
4 years.
4 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that reported?
No, we were all.
What's that?
We were all homeless.
You guys are all homies.
Homeless is.
Homeless, I'm sorry. Where did that happen at?
So the same spot he was at.
The same spot he was at?
Yes.
Okay. So you killed this guy because you raped your wife 4 years ago.
Yes.
For the first time since the interrogations began, this was the first time that Joel would confess to killing James. Although you might think it was obvious from the start, it's important to get a confession from the suspect for their judicial process. Watching one's wife get raped by another man leaves a scar that most never get to heal from. But there was more about what led to Joel taking James' head.
How did you?
Those are our bags that he was stealing from us.
Okay. Which bags are yours?
So your bag might belong to one of your two friends.
Okay.
I wanted to get him back. I just tried to take him. He pulled the gun on me. So yeah, I had a knife myself.
And what else did you do? Okay. Because you had your bags. What knife did you use?
So
He had it?
yeah,
You pulled off of him?
yeah, 'cause he tried to attack me. I just wanted my bags.
Okay.
He had a gun.
What kind of gun was it?
A little 22. So
Did you see what color it was?
it's like black for brown. He tried to take that from me. Then he tried to pull it on me and took it away, and he pulled out a knife from me. So I don't like guns. I can fight. So yeah, I can beat him.
According to him, James had also stolen from him and his wife 4 days prior. and he had only followed him to the park to retrieve their belongings. An argument broke out and James pulled out a knife on him, in addition to the gun that he had in his possession. But Joel, because of his combat experience, something that he has said more than once during the interrogation, was able to disarm and stab him with his own knife. Now that the cat was out of the bag, and the police now knew the motive behind the act, as well as how he carried it out, the detectives wanted to know if the reports of him playing with the victim's head like a soccer ball were true. His response will leave your jaw ajar in disbelief.
Kid played soccer with his head.
He played soccer with his head?
Yeah, kid passing cars.
How many cars passed by you?
All 14 cars passing.
Really? What time did this all happen at?
4:50.
Was it dark outside or was it light outside? Pitch black?
Joel confirms that he cut James' head off after he had killed him, dragged his body down the street, and placed his head against oncoming traffic like a twisted soccer game. In that moment, the violence was far beyond typical homicide, crossing into the territory that evoked horror and disbelief. The desolate condition of the park at that time of day meant that he had ample time to complete his sick plans. While this could have been a case of taking justice into one's own hands against a predator who took advantage of his own wife and their homelessness, further investigation revealed a darker side to the story. You see, when the police fact-checked some of his claims, they found that Joel lied about having a wife, or at least there's no record of him being married to anyone. Also, when he asked to identify his wife, he refused to or blatantly couldn't recognize anyone that he claimed to have been married and got raped. Their investigations revealed that this man was teetering on the edge, one who had given society multiple warnings and was ignored. Joel Arciniega-Saenz was 28 years old at the time that he was detained for murder, but he had lived in LA before he moved to Las Cruces. Once off the grid, he began to live in Apodaca Park with his belongings and illusions that he carried in his pockets. While most of the details about his life and how he survived in Las Cruces remain murky, he had prior run-ins with law enforcement in the city. Back in April 2017, Joel was charged with the murder of 21-year-old Benjamin Montoya, who was shot dead in Joel's motel room. A court document revealed that Joel had been friends with one Dakota Ocampo for 5 years, who considered him to be a brother. Meanwhile, she was in a relationship with Benjamin Montoya for a couple of months before the incident had occurred. Dakota claimed that while she came with her boyfriend to spend the night in Joel's motel room, she woke up to her boyfriend fighting with a tall, thin man with shaggy hair, whom she couldn't recognize because she didn't have her glasses on, and the unknown man pulled a gun and shot, and then ran out of the apartment. Benjamin eventually found his way to his feet and walked out of the apartment screaming for help. Shortly after he left covered in blood, Joel walked back in and told her not to worry and to remain in the apartment before he walked back outside. She mentioned to the court that she had confronted Benjamin the previous night about being pregnant, and it had become a topic of conversation throughout the night. Prosecutors would eventually charge Joel with first-degree murder, which was later dismissed a year later due to a witness not turning up to court, and the new information that suggests that Dakota killed her boyfriend as a result of an altercation between the couple. The murder case shook Joel, and he never fully recovered as he was in and out of court for nearly a year. He slid into homelessness, eventually calling Apodaca Park his home. In April 2021, just 2 months before he murdered James, Joel was arrested for vandalism. He reportedly smashed windows and tagged walls at Beck's Coffee House. Despite prosecutors warning that he was dangerous, the judge released him on a $2,000 bond. Between court dates, Joel would usually disappear into the park. Passerbys reportedly heard him shouting at unseen enemies, sifting through trash, and perhaps using drugs. Many described him as unstable and unpredictable, the kind of person that you give space to. But space, in this case, became a crucible of rage that no one saw coming. His past life experiences and recent history proved that Joel abused drugs and had undiagnosed mental issues, stemming from betrayal by someone close to his heart and a long battle with drugs. Because, if you recall, he claimed that he took James's life to avenge his so-called wife, but no records could confirm if he ever had one or any romantic relationship of note. Perhaps he had schizophrenia, and with that context in mind, it all adds a chilling layer to what must have led to the brutal killing of James Garcia, a man who, to Joel, became the embodiment of all of his grievances. After extended trials, Joel entered the courtroom on March 5th of 2025, nearly 4 years after his initial arrest, awaiting his final sentence. The proceedings were lengthy and marked by debates over Joel's mental competency. However, the jury found him guilty on all counts related to the murder of James Garcia, including 84 stab wounds, decapitation, severed finger, and the grotesque act of playing soccer with the victim's head. The conviction hinged on Joel's chilling confession, taped and played to the jurors, where he unflinchingly described his motive and the violence that followed. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, while the district attorney, Fernanda Macias, spoke to the media afterwards, saying, "Despite lengthy challenges, we remain steadfast in our pursuit of justice for those affected. We extend our condolences to the family and loved ones of James Garcia and reaffirm our commitment to holding violent offenders accountable and ensuring the safety of this community." His tone was resolute, mourning the death of an innocent man, but also signaling the prevalence of the rule of law. Despite Joel's apparent mental challenges, the prosecutors emphasized that his actions were calculated and premeditated, and not a sudden flash of violence. His detailed confession, and also lack of remorse, moved the jury to deliver the maximum allowable by law. During sentencing, family members and friends delivered heart-wrenching statements. A relative described James as a hard-working, community-minded man whose life ended too soon, or, in the words of the DA's statement, whose story deeply affected our communities. Neighbors and park regulars recalled a man who simply got caught up in someone else's rage, a reality that understood how sudden and senseless that the violence was. And yet, Joel's story didn't end with sentencing, as its gravity meant it transcended beyond just Las Cruces into a national story which impacted communities and policies regarding violent crimes and immigration. In fact, just months after Joel Arciniega-Saenz's arrest, the murder became a national debate when then-President Donald Trump referenced it during a rally in Albuquerque. Speaking to a crowd of thousands, Trump cited the case as an example of what he called complete failure of leadership on crime and border security. Without naming Garcia directly, he described the incident as a man decapitating someone and playing soccer with the head in a public park, a line that drew gasps from the crowd. While his remarks were politically charged, they confirmed one thing: this case had crossed a threshold, from local horror to a national conversation. This wasn't just the story of a murder, it was the story of a man unraveling in full view of a system that watched and did nothing. Joel Arciniega-Saenz didn't just take a life, he committed one of the most gruesome acts of violence ever witnessed in public, and then just walked calmly through the chaos as if daring the world to stop him. A world where a man's life ended, on a sidewalk in front of passing cars, for reasons that still don't make sense. And in the end, Joel didn't just kill James, he desecrated him. He turned a human being into an object of violence, and that is something that even the harshest sentence can never undo. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you believe that Joel was truly insane, or just evil? Was this justice served, or a consequence of justice delayed? If this case disturbed you as much as it did us, then hit that like button. Not just for the algorithm, but to help more people learn the reality behind the headlines. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and never underestimate the darkness hiding in plain sight.